Hey everyone, Fujiwana from Spacedock here. Today I'm going to talk about the single most important feature of any spacecraft or space station or non-space-based base. The thing that keeps the air inside from going outside, or toxic atmosphere outside from getting inside, allowing people to do important things like living. That's right, the doors. Now, it's impossible to have any discussion on doors in sci-fi without talking about the most important variant of door, one so sophisticated it's seen in real life, in such exotic places as convenience stores and elevators. The mighty sliding door. Whether they slide sideways, upways, downways, two-ways or four-ways, these are an exceptionally common feature across all science fiction. This is almost certainly due to how simple they are to build into a TV set or video game level, but I question the practicality of such doors, as they take up space in the walls, floor or ceiling that they have to slide into. A regular door just swings into the otherwise empty space of a passageway or room while they are open, space which is supposed to be there, but a sliding door has to reserve otherwise useful space around it. There is one pretty neat exception to this that I can think of off the top of my head, and that's the doors on the elevators in Portal 2. Now, I don't hate sliding doors, they do a fine job of instantly selling that a setting is sci-fi thanks to audience expectations from being in basically every piece of sci-fi ever made. It's gotten to the point where Star Trek even mildly pokes fun at itself for the prevalence of these doors and the whoosh noise that they make. What is with the holodeck doors on the Enterprise D though? Why do they have these interlocking notches? It does look pretty neat and instantly signals that it's a holodeck door, which I suppose is the entire point. In a similar vein to sliding doors are iris or camera shutter doors. By that I mean ones where the leaves overlap each other and the opening in the middle is circular. They do look even more cool than sliding doors, but have more limitations on their usefulness. As with sliders, the individual leaves take up space around the entire circumference of the door, unless it's the iris from Stargate, which seems to just disappear into nothingness. It's a bit odd looking, but you can't beat hearing someone yell, "Close the iris!" and hearing it seal shut. Iris doors can also only really be used on circular doorways, which usually would have to have a flat piece of ground anyway, wasting more space. A better version of an iris door is one where the petals don't overlap, and they don't open as a dilating circle. Unlike irises, these ones can also be more easily locked into place. This is essentially just a fancy sliding door, but damn, doesn't that top hatch on the Millennium Falcon look sweet? Somewhat related to iris doors are, well, there's only one way to really describe them, and that is sphincter doors. I don't need to talk about these in any detail, but moving swiftly on, why are so many doors in sci-fi so over-designed? Typically, this is the many folding, spinning, sliding, rotating, unlocking, relocking segmented doors that show up. These kinda make sense in video games because they are often part of a hidden loading screen, giving the player something to look at while their console or PC does stuff in the background. Plus, they are a way for an artist to sell a look for an area, but sometimes it can be a bit overblown. Does every single door really need to have all these mechanisms to work, each requiring maintenance? While on overcomplicated doors, I can't not bring up the Deep Space Nine rolling cog doors, which have the exact same issue with taking up space that sliding doors do. Did the Cardassians have a big thing for cogs and gear wheels? I can't remember if those crazy doors show up anywhere else Cardassian other than Empok Nor. Better examples of big cog door can be found in Fallout on the vaults. They do have a very complicated animation when opening or closing, but as they are one-offs per vault and aren't supposed to be frequently moved, it's fine. These do both slide and roll, but given that they are massive sealable bunker doors meant to keep out the worst of nuclear war, they can get a pass. It's not like you can just have such a big heavy door swing open, right? That would be crazy. Well, the North American Aerospace Defense Command did it anyway for the Cheyenne Mounting Complex, otherwise known as the home of Stargate Command. NORAD insists that the SGC is just a broom closet, but we all know the truth. Footage of the massive front door shows up a couple of times in the show when the facility went on lockdown. The thing is, this massively secure complex, supposedly one of the most secure places on the entire planet, has a little metal hatch right outside the front door with a ladder behind it. This led down to more flimsy metal hatches which can easily be cut through, allowing access to every level in the SGC. Another massive door shows up in Tron and Tron Legacy on the ENCOM building. This is another real door, this time on the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory in California, and is the heaviest swinging door ever built. It is essentially a gigantic concrete plug weighing 44,000 kilograms, but still openable by a single person. To put that into human terms, that's equivalent to just over 60 smart cars, or roughly 2.3 million slices of American cheese. Back to swinging doors, one of the more practical kinds of door, especially for pressurized environments like, say, a spaceship. The best example for this I can think of is the big chunky doors on Battlestar Galactica. I love these doors, as they are very well thought out, and people in-universe treat them with the respect befitting something intended to keep them alive. They are big, solid, and look like they can take a hit, just like the ship itself. While we don't know the exact mechanism they are supposed to lock with, the existence of the wheel in the middle implies they are all quick-acting doors that seal shut. The crew almost always keep these doors shut at all times in case of a hull breach and to stop fire spreading. As an aside, this is a point in favour for sliding doors as they automatically do this, assuming they are airtight. Some Galactica doors also have pressure indicators on them for the room they lead to. As I mentioned in the ISV video, when something looks and feels like everything about it has purpose and a reason to exist, it elevates that thing in the mind of the audience. All the elements of the BSG doors are real things from real ships and add to the down-to-earth and authentic feel of the show. However, there are some dumb doors on Pegasus, particularly the big transparent wall for its CIC. It does hammer home the difference in age between the two Battlestars, alongside the differences between their brigs, for example, but it just looks a bit goofy in my opinion. Finally, we get to airlock doors. All of the previous kinds of door are used in airlocks across sci-fi, but which is the best? Air pressure is the key thing to consider here, as it can put a surprisingly large amount of outward force on a door. So which door type to use? Sliding doors would have that same force applied to them, pinning them against their frame. A door that swings outward has the force constantly working to blow it open, but a door that swings inward is kept shut by the pressure. The same thing applies in a vacuum, and acts as a neat safety feature when docking to something. If the door just opens without effort, then there's atmosphere on the other side. If there's low pressure or a vacuum, then it stays shut. Add in a little window to see if there's someone on the other side to confirm, and you got yourself a safe airlock. Whether using sliding doors, sphincter doors, or whatever doors, the only thing that really matters is that it fits the setting. Sure, they all have trade-offs in terms of realism, but realism is not the only thing that is important. As mentioned earlier, practicality of implementation and audience expectations matter as well. Something as apparently innocuous as the design of a door and the way it opens adds to the flavour of the setting. Thanks for listening, this is Huji from Spacedock, signing off.
This video is sponsored by The Sojourn, our original science fiction audio drama, which is available now on various audio distribution platforms including Google Books, Apple iTunes, Scribed, and many more. Volumes 1 and 2 have been released, each containing 3 episodes. We're well on our way towards finishing Volume 3, and if you choose to get the series via Patreon and pledge at Wanderer tier or higher, you can get yourself a copy of our visual dictionary, which is based on the old Star Wars visual dictionaries and is kind of a comprehensive lore book of the Sojourn's universe. And if you're just interested in checking out the setting, you can head over to the Sojourn's YouTube channel, where you can find some ship breakdowns, trailers, behind-the-scenes interviews, and more content to come. Check out the link in the description for the website with a full set of purchase links if you're interested in checking it out and supporting some original science fiction.